every now and then, I don't know if you have things in your head that you repeat on a loop every now, like silly things. Yeah. Mine for you is Dad Chaniels.
Oh, yeah. The flip?
The flip.
The letter flip.
I will just say it on a loop. It's at Dad Chaniels, and it'll make me laugh. So I want to thank you for Dad Chaniels. I
don't think you do. I think you're... I think you're saying, I'd like to thank you for fucking up your name every time I say it.
But what a funny thing. It was so simple and so good.
Yeah, it was very easy to figure out.
Dad Chaniels.
It was Jeff Tate that first called me that.
Oh, okay. We love Jeff.
He saw me doing some bits on my kids, and he was like, okay, Dad Chaniels.
And then it was...
Yeah.
So rad. What I love about you two is that you are a dad. You have 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
And how old are they now?
My son's 23 and engaged.
Oh my God, mazel.
And my daughter, thank you. And my daughter just went to college. She's 18. So I'm an empty nester.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
And what I've loved about you over the years is that, you actually give a shit about your kids. And I think, like, before we had children, you were one of the few adults that I knew that had kids. And I'd be like, why don't you move to LA or New York? And you're like, no, my children live in, I live in Minnesota, and I must be with my children. And I was like, well, that's so rare. And a man gives a shit about his kids.
Yeah, a lot of comedians are like, well, I have these babies all over the States, but I love Hollywood, baby.
So warped.
That's not necessarily true, but I do love making myself seem way better.
Yeah. Well, it worked for me. I'm convinced you're a good person and a great father.
Well, I talked my daughter into going to California for school.
Oh, perfect.
So I can go out there and enjoy January and February and March.
Yeah.
Dad, you're here too much. I don't think so. I'm going to be out here all the time.
You're going to be gone now. Mm-hmm. So you raised those fuckers. You got a divorce, right?
Yep.
7 years ago?
7, yeah.
Tell me everything. Like, what is that like? That's got to be horrible.
Getting a divorce?
Yeah, with kids.
It was the right move.
Yeah.
For both of us. We've both agreed on that. And, I remember having conversations with both the kids later on, and they were like, oh, thank God you guys did that. So it really was better for everyone involved. Yeah. But, it's great now, other than when you're an empty nester, when you're divorced, you're just it's real quiet at the house. Yeah. Especially my daughter, because she would just walk around humming. And now I can hear ringing in my ears. I'm just like, well, I guess I just die now. I've done it. Next step, death.
I know.
It's crazy.
I know, because parenthood is such a constant flurry of annoying.
Right.
And then awesome. And then exhausting. Like, we just had my kids, we celebrated Ellis's birthday. Mm-hmm. So it was yesterday. And you can see my face. Like, I'm still hungover and upset and tired and like... and you don't sleep, and then this morning they're up 6 a.m. for school, and you're just like, God, this marathon, when will it end? And then it does end.
Yeah, I mean, it does, but it doesn't, because I remember, so a week after I brought Olivia to school, I called my mom for some advice, and I was like, oh, shit, I guess I'm 47, so I'm still asking my mom for stuff. So it's different, because they call and whatever, but my daughter's good at FaceTiming. I live in the same town as my son, so I get to see them, and I also get to do fun shit. Like for the first time in, I think probably 23 years, I was able to go to Atlanta, see a buddy, fly to Virginia and work, and then fly to Cincinnati and see some other buddies and watch football, and then fly home. Because normally I was Sunday morning, first flight out.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I have to get home because she comes from Vermont, because we were every other week. Oh. And now it's just like, I don't have to be home for anything. It's great.
I'm trying to remember. Sometimes I try to remember what my life was like before children, and all I can remember is how time seemed infinite. You had this whole weekend ahead of you.
Yeah.
And you're like, how many shows am I going to watch? What am I going to eat?
Right.
Will I exercise? I don't know. I don't feel like it. I'm going to nap instead. And then you would just take a nap. I just want to pet my dog. Oh, and then I'm like, I'm so bored. Like, I don't remember. I haven't been bored in 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is incredible. Now you're like, what am I going to eat? Oh, I guess leftover mac and cheese over the fucking sink. Because this is what I eat now and where I eat it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I can't imagine. Is it depressing at all?
It's not depressing. So I still get, when I go to California, we surf and do things we had never done before.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's really fun. I was lucky. I got not forced into, but we accidentally had my first child. And so I was
forced into. Wait a minute.
I guess I'm a dad.
Explain this distinction. Oh, right. So it was like an oopsie.
It was an oopsie.
And
Yep.
is this why you got married, or had you?
No.
been married?
We dated in high school and stuff. So
Oh,
it was
cute.
yeah.
Well, no wonder you divorced. You can't marry the bride you've met in high school.
That's what everybody says. Yeah, you're supposed to get out there and
Yeah.
experience some things. But we waited 17 years and 2 kids, and we were like, let's go experience things.
Yeah.
So but it's great, you know. So eventually, when I have grandkids, I mean, I can still.
That's rad.
I'm still mobile.
Yeah, can I tell you? So I think there's positive and negative to like delaying having children, which I did. I waited right up until menopause, basically. Like, hey, your last call, bitch. And then I did it. But now I'm exhausted. I'm a 46-year-old mom of 2 little boys. And I'm like, but then you did it. How old are you when you had your first kid?
23.
Oh my fucking God.
I know. So at Olivia's graduation, which was
my
just
God.
in the end of May, there was this man with a cane, just old as shit, walking down the stairs, and I go, oh, you know, congrats on your grandkid for
Yeah.
whatever, and he's like, it's my daughter. I'm like, well,
Look, rough.
look at you.
Yeah.
Don't yell at me.
Yeah, you're a mess. You
Clean
should
your shit up.
have done this sooner, dipshit. Not my fault you're all old and crappy. Yeah, that's how I'm going to be.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, I'm in great shape. I exercise and I eat
Yeah.
well and stuff. But like, you're going to get to see your grandkids and really bro down with them, which is really exciting.
I think so.
Fuck
I
yeah.
can't wait to do coke with my grandkids. It's gonna be so great.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
And like, like taking them to strip clubs and
Yeah. Imagine the synthetic drugs that are going to be available when I have grandchildren. Hello. It's going to be so great. We're just going to be sitting at the lake going, this water feels amazing, just patting it. I love it so much.
That would be so cool to share that with your kids as a grandfather. I feel like you kind of do have a license to ill when you're that old. Like, who's going to tell you not to?
Right. Yeah. Once you're old, all the
Who cares?
consequences are out the door.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt that way in middle age. Now I'm like, oh, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. You know, so, some people are like, you know, can you not give my kid sugar and then bring them home to me? It's like, sure, I won't give them sugar. No sugar and mushrooms. Just walking around, just touching things. And it's going to be great.
It's so great. So much fun. Yeah, I hate parents like that. I hate the people that won't give their kids sugar or fun or TV. You're like, what are you doing?
Because you know what happens? Then they leave the house and it's all they do.
I know.
Is sugar, tea, everything you're not allowed to do as a child.
Yes.
You do as an adult, i.e. Michael Jackson. I mean, and I'm not making fun of him. I'm saying like, no wonder he wanted whatever his park is, his theme park. It's
Yeah.
because he didn't get to do any of that shit when he was a kid.
I know. Or other kids.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
you have to touch Peters when you're 7. You can't come back to it as
You
an
can't
adult.
circle back.
Yeah.
Did you like that highlight? I mean, how much fun was that? Why don't you watch a bunch more? We made a bunch more for you to watch. And then why don't you subscribe to my show? Subscribe to Where My Mom's At. That way, every time I drop an episode, you just get it. You don't have to think about it. And then hit the notification bell so you can get notified of all the great stuff that I make. Watch other highlight. Treat yourself. Get your life right.